Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to race number 9 of the limited iRacing series. We got some cars out on track for qualifying. We're looking at the 3 car of Eli Lewis on his first time lap here. We'll see what Eli can do. Has a little bit loose going into turn 1 there. We'll have to see if he can corral this 3 machine for lap number 2. As these tires are fresh tires and cold, so it will take a little bit to get these things up to temperature. So we'll see what Eli can do on lap number 2 with lap number 1 and 18.1A. And Eli Lewis big time sideways in 1 and 2. He will stay probably low on the speed charts, not able to get a good lap in. Now we're looking at the 02 machine of Tyler Holden coming to take his first time lap. First time in this series this season we see the 02 machine of Tyler Holden, so we'll see what he can do as he wraps that bottom side pretty good in 1 and 2, folks. We'll see what he can do in 3 and 4 as he gets right up against that inside wall. That's where you want to be, especially in 3 and 4, folks, as close as you can get without actually touching it. Tyler Holden goes P number 3 on lap number 1, ties with Connor Gadsden, so we'll see if he can improve this lap time on his second lap. Tyler through 3 and 4 a lot higher on up, folks. I don't think that'll be enough to improve his lap time. He'll come across the line and not improve it. So now we look at the 97 machine of Jacob York. He did take over the points lead last time. He goes P number 3 as Michael Lipp goes P1 with the quick time being out Blaine Harrison. We'll see if Jacob York can go faster on lap number 2. Tied with Harrison on his first lap. Jacob York across the line does improve in just 1/100th of a second off of quick time of Michael Lipp. So that 26 machine is quick time as we got one car rolling out of pits here. It's the 50 machine of Tristan Newman. This guy's had a lot of poles this season. We'll see if he can add another notch to the column as Tristan Newman is on his first time lap here at Myrtle Beach. As he rolls through the middle, very good. A little bit of big time sideways off of 2, folks. So he will re-rack it, wind up that 50 machine for his second lap. And we'll see what Tristan Newman can do here as his first lap will be his throwaway lap. He'll float it in on turn number 1 here. Very wide arc. This will allow him to get a straight shot off the corner. Able to put down the power this time, folks. The 50 machine through 3 and 4 for the final time here in qualifying. We'll see where the 50 machine can go on this better lap. Tristan Newman crosses the line and goes P number 1. He will add, or at least he'll try and add, another pole to his record as he goes to the top of the board here at Myrtle Beach. And it looks like no one else really out on track, so that's what Tristan Newman wants to see. We have about a minute left in qualifying. As Tristan Newman is at the top of the timing and scoring. As we get ready to go over to race trim, we'll of course throw the sponsors up on the screen. Those sponsors we got to talk about here tonight is Jay's Stock Cars, Don's Custom Diecast. Of course, we got Premier Dental Arts, BGRacingDesigns.com. Be sure to check out BG Designs if you want a car that stands out on the broadcast like tonight. And of course, we got to thank our caution sponsor, that being Roundy's Lawn Care. As qualifying looks to wrap on up here, and it looks like the 50 machine of Tristan Newman will add another pole to the stat column. He'll be tonight's Quick Time Award here at Myrtle Beach for round number 9. And a little bit just so we can keep tally, Jacob York and Braden Goddard currently tied in points for the points lead. So coming into a night, a lot on the line as we got cars down on grid side. We'll walk through tonight's starting order for race number 9 here at Myrtle Beach. Starting on pole, we saw it live, folks. It's the 50 machine of Tristan Newman. Starting to his outside is the 26 of Michael Lipp. Row number 2 will be Jacob York in the 97 machine, with Blaine Harrison in the 7 to his outside. Row number 3 will be Connor Gadsden in the 76 machine and Tyler Holden in the 02. Row number 4 will be made up of Jace Reef and Braden Goddard. Row number 10 will be Eli Lewis in the 3, Ethan Johnson in the 2. Starting 11th is Chuck Sims in the 44 machine. 12th is Casey Beatty. 13th will look like Dwayne Worley in the 5. Curtis Heading in the 85 machine will start 14th. And rounding out the field tonight is Brendan Carroll in the 10 machine. So that is tonight's starting order for the Myrtle Beach for race number 9 of the limited iRacing Outlaw Super Late Model Series. As we get the field ready to rock and roll here, these guys will be doing battle, I want to say, for 125 laps here tonight. As we get the drivers up to speed, a lot of sweet looking super late models out here tonight under the lights here at Myrtle Beach. Sadly, Myrtle Beach, of course, not out here in real life, got demolished early this year, so very heartbreaking to hear that, but at least we got it here on the sim. Alright folks, it's the wave lap. Be sure to give your favorite drivers a wave as they come by, and we'll get ready to turn these cars loose for 125 laps here at Myrtle Beach. As we got 15 cars out here on the speedway to do battle, the iRacing pace car is down pit road. We'll now wait for the 50 machine of Tristan Newman to lead us to green flag and to start race number 9 of 10 for these limited iRacing limited outlaw. I could speak limited iRacing guys as Tristan Newman jumps on the loud pedal. We go green flag racing here at Myrtle Beach. As we got a quick yellow right away. I believe it involved the, I want to say, man, I don't even see who it is, but one car already down pit road and we got already some trouble, so we'll take a look to see what happened, as I believe it involved, yeah, the 44 machine of Chuck Sims. We'll take a look at the turn 3 replay here to see what happened at the start. As you can see, everyone jumps on the loud pedal here for the initial start. Looks like everyone tries to get themselves going. Chuck Sims just had to check up a little bit. The 5 of Dwayne Worley not realizing that there is a checkup and sends the 44 machine right down actually into victory lane. A few more laps to go before anyone can park it in there, but looks like that will be our first Roundy's Lawn Care caution of the night here early in this thing. I assume once they get themselves sorted on out, we'll have a green flag run here. I have a feeling, as Chuck Sims a little bit of front end damage to that 44 Fury super late model here early. He's going to save his fast repairs for a little bit later in the night, but it's always a bummer to have a broken race car this early in a race. As you can see, folks, the lights are out on the iRacing pace car. We got the field doubling back on up. Once again, Tristan Newman will lead us to green. And no real change up front in this starting order, as we'll pretty much have a complete restart, but now here on lap 5 as we wait for the 50 machine of Tristan Newman to jump on the loud pedal here. He would do just that, jumps on a lot earlier than before, and we go to green flag racing here for race number 9. As a little bit of contact for second between Blaine Harrison and Michael Lipp. That allowed Blaine to get on by, as Michael will slot on into third right there, right on the back bumper. Connor Gadsden right there as well, trying to give chase a little bit loose off that corner. Further back, we got Casey in that 45 machine trying to roll that top side of Eli Lewis. This is the battle for 6 on the speedways. Eli Lewis gets a little bit of those curbs. That will upset that 3 car. Maybe allow Jacob York to even sneak on by on that top side in that blue and white 97 machine. Jacob York did take, I think, an EOL penalty at the start of the race, so he's further on back. But up front, we got a battle for the race lead. Tristan Newman under fire from Blaine Harris down low. Blaine looking pretty sporty. His contact for the race lead. That sends Tristan Newman up almost big time into the wall. He did a great job of keeping it off from a big time hit to the outside wall. As now Blaine Harrison gets tagged by Mike for the race lead. He gets sent up the racetrack. Mike gets turned for the race lead up top. And that will bring out our second yellow. These guys were, watch out. As we got some more cars filing in a little bit late. But that was not the prettiest there. As we'll take a look here, we'll see the, I don't know if there's contact before, but there's definitely contact there, and almost that's hard to tell because the 7 definitely came down. The 26 was there, maybe came up a little, but then here the crossover missed time by the 7 and gets, right rear hooks the 26, hard contact in that outside wall. And then we get some more cars piling on in very late into this as the 26 of Michael Lipp tries to get rolling, and watch out. As it does seem like the 7 of Blaine Harrison does claim that yellow, so he'll go to the back. I assume the 26 will... No, it does not look like he'll get the fast repair just yet, so he's going to save it for a little bit later in this race, but we'll have to restart at the back here. So with it all said, folks, this hands over the race lead to Connor Gadsden in the 76 machine. As we are under our second yellow flag here for round number 9 of the limited iRacing Outlaw Super Late Model Series at Myrtle Beach. 2 cars, of course, we got to keep an eye on, like we talked about, came tied in points for the points lead. One being of the 38 machine of Braden Goddard here, who we're looking at screen here, and the car right behind him of the 97 machine of Jacob York. Both those guys tied for the points lead here with this round and one more after, so a lot at stake. As I think this time we should see the lights go out on the iRacing pace car and double file these boys on up and get ready to go back to green flag racing action. We saw some aggressive moves here early in this race. We'll have to see if that intensity keeps on up or if people will kind of slot on in line, try and click off some laps, because we still have over 100 laps to go as the lights on the iRacing pace car are extinguished. We'll double file them up and get ready to go back to green here. Connor Gadsden, right place, right time. He'll lead us to green flag here. Tristan Newman to his outside. Casey Beatty in third with Jace Reef in the 54 to his outside. As we wait on the 76, he jumps on the loud pedal. We go back to green flag racing action. Tristan Newman gets a pretty good start on that top side, but we'll have to see how he can hold up top here in 1 and 2. That top side's so tough in 1 and 2. Whereas 3 and 4, you can throw it in a little bit harder than that guy on that outside. make up a little bit of time as we see that 54 trying to do just that. Way up out of the groove, keeps it off the wall though as he slides back in contact for the race lead. Tristan Newman and big time pile up, one car up and over. I believe that's the 38 machine of Braden Goddard. Not what he wanted to see as he ends up on his lid. And that was a big time wreck, folks. We got to take a look at the replay to see what happened there, as there was contact for the race lead between the 76 and the 50 going into turn number 1. We'll have to see what happened here as Tristan Newman right on the back bumper does have a run. He looks to the inside and maybe Gadsden moved a little bit, but Newman definitely not down far enough. And then you have some more guys piling up. The 02, 85, 38 all in there, and one car up and over. That's a 38 machine of Braden Goddard. We'll take a look and see what he saw as we ride on board with him. As there we go, we look at the onboard, we see smoke in front of him, tries to get on the binder, sees a lot of cars, and there's a contact that sends him up in there, and up and over we go. And Braden Goddard leaves the racing surface as he brings that thing back down to pit road. But with that craziness, folks, it hands over the race lead to Eli Lewis in the 3 machine. And look at who's right behind him. Jacob York already made his way up through this field. Looks like he'll restart in the 2nd position. As under extended yellow here, folks, to try and get this track all cleaned up, a little bit of fluid put down in turn 1 with all those cars piling on up, a little bit extra cleanup by the staff here at Myrtle Beach. But I believe this time we should get the signal to go, 1 to go. Eli Lewis will lead us to green, Jacob York in 2nd. Michael Lipp with that wall hit is back up to 2nd, and his best buddy of this race so far, Blaine Harrison, up to 4th. And it looks like Ethan Johnson once again out here surviving in that 2 machine, up in the top 5 right now. As the iRacing pace car heads down pit road, we'll get ready to go. Green flag racing here once again as we're under our 3rd Roundy's Lawn Care caution of the night. Eli Lewis leads us to green here. He will jump on the loud pedal here, and we're back to green flag racing action. He gets away with a great start. Michael Lipp now to the inside of Jacob York for 2nd, and they're side by side all behind him throughout the field, trying to sort themselves out. They get sorted at least for 2nd, but the battle for 4th rages on. Blaine Harrison trying to get around Ethan Johnson with Jace Reef right there as well. He really enjoys that high side, folks, that 54 machine, putting his car where no one else will out on the speedway as they go 3 wide down the backstretch. A little bit of contact, but they survive on through as Ethan Johnson, big time bumper tag from the 50 machine. That checks up the whole field. They stay green though, as everyone keeps it facing the right direction and slowly getting themselves sorted on out. As up front, battle for the race lead. Eli Lewis under fire from the 26 machine. Michael trying to roll that bottom side, does get the run, but this is where the top side can be a little bit better. You can carry just a smidge more momentum, so they'll come out probably door to door at the start-finish line. Advantage to Eli Lewis on that top side, but this is where the inside line is so dominant. You can drive it in there a little bit deeper, a little bit straighter into turn number 1. Now the 26 about a half a car advantage. Now Jacob York will also try and get around on that low side. Don't look too far back there. Blaine Harrison and Casey trying to give chase to the battle for this race lead as well. As now Jacob York to the inside of Eli Lewis for second place. Jacob York knows he has to finish as well as he can, but he knows he's also fighting for something bigger here with that championship right in his grasp. This race could decide a lot when it's all said and done, especially if Braden Goddard stays a lap down, as we get a yellow flag here. I believe it involved the 50 machine of Tristan Newman. So we'll take a look at the turn 3 replay here to see what happened. As we see the 50 machine off at turn number 4, side by side with the 85 machine of Curtis Heading. As, oh man, looks like Curtis gets to the left rear of the 50 machine. Not sure if they were upset how they were racing each other or what transpired, but that sends the 50 machine around and under our 4th yellow flag here tonight, as we see Tristan head down pit road. We're going to go take a break here, folks. We're going to go to commercial, and we'll be right back on the other side. Don't go anywhere. As we are back here at Myrtle Beach Speedway for race number 9. Michael Lipp continues to lead the way here in these middle stages in this field. Jacob York now up to second. Eli Lewis, I want to say, is 4th, and Blaine Harrison looks like he is in, yeah, Blaine Harrison in 3rd, Eli Lewis 4th, and Casey Beatty rounds out the top 5. As Braden Goddard was the lucky dog, folks. So the 38 machine back on the lead lap here after being upside down already once tonight. As the lights go out on the iRace and pace car, we'll get ready to double file them on up and get ready to go back to green flag racing action. As interesting, folks, the 26 machine elects to restart on the outside lane. We'll have to see how this works on out as we wait for the iRace and pace car to make the hard left-hand turn down pit road. We'll see what Michael can do here, leading us to green. As the field stacks on up, gets ready to rock and roll. Mike gets away with a great start on that top side. He will get clear of Jacob York. And same with Blaine Harrison. Blaine with a great restart up top, but contact with the 97. Blaine gets big time sideways, somehow hangs onto that race car, loses a few spots because of it, but does an awesome job keeping that thing facing the right direction. As now he's battling side by side with the 45 machine, and maybe Connor Gadsden will join in the mix as well. As one car goes around, that looks like the 54 machine of Jace Reef. The O2 machine involved as well, and I think Tristan Newman, yeah, he's the car against the wall. So we go under our 5th yellow flag here tonight, and we'll take a look here how the contact started as we look at the 54 Red Bull machine. And I believe he might have gotten some help by the 50 here in 1 and 2. As Jay's trying to work that top side. Had to check up a little bit for the 76. The 50 machine not seeing the checkup. Just tags the back bumper and backs it into the wall. The 02 also backs it on in there as well. So more damage. Super late models to add to the list. Luckily, I believe there's one fast repair for these drivers when it's all said and done. So if your night gets almost ended early, you know, you could bring it down pit road, get a fast repair, and there's also some set of tires over the wall. We'll have to see if any of these drivers want to use a set of tires. But we are under our 5th yellow, sponsored by the Roundy's Lawn Care. Also, speaking about sponsors, we got to give a big shout out to Jay Stock Cars and Don's Custom Diecast, as well as Premier Dental Arts and BG Designs. As the lights go out on the iRace and Pace car, once again the 26 machine will elect to restart on the top side. That puts Jacob York down low. Third is Eli Lewis in the 345 machine of Casey in 4th. And Blaine Harrison falls back to P number 5 for this restart with that contact. So we'll see that 7 machine back up front, I believe, in no time at all, as we now wait for the 26 machine to jump on the loud pedal here. He does that, gets away with another great start. As we go back to green flag race in action, KCBT will try that top side on Eli Lewis. Does get on around him. We'll see if he clears him off at turn number 2. He will, so he'll go back down to the bottom a little bit further back. Blaine Harrison trying to make the move on Connor Gadsden. Connor with a little bit of contact to that outside wall. That will slow him down just enough as one car goes on around. A few of them actually. Looks like once again Tristan Newman involved. This time Ethan Johnson and Braden Goddard. All the cars coming to a stop as we'll take a look at the turn 3 replay and see what happened. I believe some contact between the 2 and the 50 heading into turn number 1 here. As we see Ethan Johnson down low, Tristan Newman up top, and Ethan Johnson got a piece of those curbs. That upset the car big time, as you saw the front end even leave the racetrack, and that you can't turn a car too well with the front tires off the ground. So he gets inadvertent contact with Tristan Newman that sends them both on around. So that's one thing these drivers really have to manage tonight here, folks, is those turtles in 1 and 2. As you can see, if you hit any of those, it's big time no bueno, as we are under our 6th yellow here tonight. As the lights will go out on the iRace and Pace car, we'll double them up once again. Mike once again elects to restart on that top lane as we see everyone file on in behind the front row and get ready to go back to green flag race in action, as we are already a quarter of the way done, a third of the way done with this race, as these laps are clicking on by very quickly here. As the 26 machine will once again lead us to green. He's got some great restarts. We'll wait a little bit later as Jacob York gets a great restart down low. They might go side by side into turn number 1, and indeed they will. So very close racing up front here on this restart as the 97 machine gets away with a pretty good restart. Him and Eli Lewis will go side by side here as the 76 gets right up on the back bumper of that 45 machine. Out of 4 they come, and Jacob York, Eli Lewis, door to door down the front stretch. This is where the advantage to that bottom side comes on in. Jacob York able to clear Eli Lewis, who will slap back in the 3rd position, but Jacob York big time sideways. Not sure if he got any help or anything, but maybe he was just mirror driving there, folks. Got on the binders a little bit too hard. That sent the car very sideways, way up the groove, as now we got a new battle for second. KCBT and the 3 of Eli Lewis, as Casey able to get by very easy, as Eli Lewis now falls back to the 3rd position here, trying to save his stuff. Wow, we got a green flag run rolling here, as Jacob York able to finally get back down to the bottom side. Behind him is Curtis Heading and Jace Reeve goes side by side. This is the battle for 7th on the speedways. Heading big time out of the groove for a car to his outside. They keep it off the wall. That opens the door for Tristan Newman, though. As one car sideways up in front, I believe that was the 7 of Blaine Harrison. That checked up the line big time, and that let Jacob York get on around Connor Gadsden. Slipping on back a few spots here. Now under fire from the 85 and the 50 machine here. As well, contact between the 7 and the 97. They keep it straight, but that sent Gadsden on around, and that will bring out our 7th yellow here tonight. So we'll take a look at the replay here and see what happened. But a little bit of contact up in front of the 76 machine, as both these guys fighting for that inside lane. And that's a tough one to call, because 7 came up in a little bit high, 97. Not sure if he was going to get there in time, and then sadly Gadsden, just an innocent bystander, makes contact with the sideways 7 machine and sends that thing on around. So we are back under yellow for the 7th time here tonight here on lap number 50. So I'm going to go throw it to commercial break here, and we'll be back on the other side here from Myrtle Beach. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, folks, the lights do get extinguished on the iRacing pace car. We'll double them on up, and the 26 machine of Michael Lipp will elect to restart on the bottom side. That puts the 45 machine up top as the iRacing pace car makes its way down pit road, and we get ready for our 7th restart of the night. The 26 machine will lead us to green here once again. He's been looking pretty sporty as he jumps on the loud pedal. We go back to green flag racing action. Everyone in the field looks like they get themselves sorted on out, but battle a little bit for second now as KCBT tries to keep that thing wound up on the top side. Does have a nose to the outside of our race leader. There's a little bit of contact further on back, and oh man, that was close down the front stretch. But Casey drives in big time as we get some cars sideways on the front stretch, and this battle for the race lead will have to wait for another few laps as some big time contact. I think the 76 machine was involved down the front stretch as well. We'll take a look, see what happened. Sorry, that was our previous incident. Now we'll try and figure out where the last one happened. Oh man, Ethan Johnson sideways, maybe with some help. We'll take a look one more time at the replay, but very much down low. And yeah, that doesn't look the best from the replay up here at the booth here with that car being that low with the 97 machine, and gets sent into that outside wall of the 76 machine, just an innocent bystander. So tempers pretty high here at Myrtle Beach for these drivers here. We're not even at the halfway point here. So with our 8th yellow, folks, we're going to go over some race information out there on screen. This is, of course, the limited iRacing Outlaw Super Late Models series for round number 9 of 10. We are at Myrtle Beach here, just over a half mile. And of course, we got to thank all the sponsors here. Of course, BG Racing Designs, bgracingdesigns.com to check them on out. Get some paint schemes that stick on out. Of course, Premier Dental Arts. Also, Don's Custom Diecast. If you want some sweet custom 3D printed diecast, be sure to check them on out. They do some awesome work, especially of these super late models. Also, J Stock Cars. If you're looking for any stock car diecast you need, check them out as well. And of course, our caution sponsor, Roundy's Lawn Care. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing action, Michael Lipp will once again lead us to green. Him and the 45 machine had an awesome battle, rocking and rolling here early. We'll see if they can continue that as we go back green flag racing action. All the drivers get up through the gears here as KCBT under fire from Eli Lewis for second place as they go door to door down the backstretch. Looks like Casey will have to hang that thing out on the top side, at least for 3 and 4. Able to clear the 3, so now he sets his sights back on the race leader. There's one car in the wall down the front stretch. I believe that was a 54 machine as he gets that thing sorted on out. Tristan Newman trying to make a move on the 7 of Blaine Harris. Tristan all over the back bumper of that 7 machine. Blaine with a little bit of damage to that 7 super late model, but looks like that thing's still handling pretty well for the most part. Tristan Newman big time into the backstretch wall. He will lose a handful of spots when it's all said and done, as now he tries to work his way to get back around Braden Goddard here in that 38 machine. So Braden Goddard having a pretty good rebound when it's all said and done, as Curtis heading big time out of the groove right in front of this pack. As Goddard now under fire from the 50 machine. Tristan Newman looking to trying to get around on that top side. Blaine Harrison does get around Eli Lewis for 3rd place, but up front at the start finish line, we'll see cross flags halfway down, halfway home for these race leaders, and these guys putting on a Clayton Casey has caught our race leader and making sure that if he does make a mistake, he's right there to capitalize on it. As Eli Lewis right on the back bumper of Blaine Harrison. Blaine able to get on around him. Now Eli Lewis looking pretty sporty. He'll look to the inside of the 7, heading into turn 1. He's got a position, so these guys go door to door down the backstretch. As contact for it, as that sends Blaine Harrison up the speedway. We'll have to see if Blaine decides to repay the favor at all during this race, because I'm sure he will not forget about that one. As Eli Lewis will now reclaim 3rd position, but of course under fire from that driver. He just moved up out of the groove. As these guys continue to battle on out, also battle for the race lead, heating on up. Casey continues to hold on that pressure for the race lead as we get another yellow flag, the 9th one of the night. So we'll try and take a look, see what happened out there on the speedway, but not really seeing anyone down on speed. So we'll take a look at the replay here. Maybe something around here, as we're looking at the 2 machine of Ethan Johnson here in 3 and 4, and yeah, not seeing any slow race cars out on the speedway. So as with this yellow though, it allows for some green flag pit stops. So we got one car out there on the speedway. That's the 3 machine of Eli Lewis. Everyone else down pit road to get some fresh set of Hoosier slicks on these race cars. So as we see the field getting on away, but they got to be sure they can beat this pace car if they don't want to go down a lap, as it looks like some drivers will get caught a lap down when it's all said and done. So we'll have to see how this works on out, but Eli Lewis looks like he will be our race leader coming to green. The only driver that has not pitted yet during this race, as with halfway done in this race, a logical call was to come down pit road, get some fresh tires on him, especially if you abused yours a little bit in any sort of spin, as these tires are very heat sensitive. That's why these drivers have to be very careful getting on the loud pedal on corner exit, because you light that thing up a few times, it's going to take at least a handful of laps to cool it back off to get some traction. But as we get everyone sorted on out here, the iRacing pace car lights are off on the car, and we get ready to go back green flag race in action. Eli Lewis will lead us to green, but Casey Beatty in second has some fresh tires. Same with all the cars behind him. As we wait to jump on the loud pedal here, Eli Lewis looks to get a straight shot. He jumps on the loud pedal. We are going back to green flag race in action here, as Michael Lipp will try and get around Casey Beatty for second position. He's got a nose on him, but big time sideways off the corner. That'll allow him to be able to clear, as Casey will try the crossover for the race lead. That puts the 45 machine out there in front after the halfway point, so Casey will lead the point here. Now the 3 of Eli Lewis under fire from the 26 machine, so Eli Lewis hoping for about probably a yellow 10 laps or so. So he's alright losing a few spots here, but he wants these guys to use up some tires around him so that when he comes down pit road, he can have that tire advantage compared to the cars that did pit there. As a 45 machine last time by, fastest lap of anyone out on track, an 18.57. So that 45 machine looking very sporty out there in clean air, as Eli Lewis continues to lose some spots to now the 76 of Gadsden, and now even maybe some more spots, as the 54 is a lap down compared to some of the drivers out there. Did get a lap down with those pit cycles, so he's hoping for a yellow flag to get a chance to get back on the lead lap. But Eli Lewis trying his best to hang on here with those old tires, but as you can see, folks, he's falling to the back very quickly like an anchor on a boat. As we see the battle. Oh, contact between the 97 and the 38. That's some championship implications between the two, and that will be enough to bring out our 10th yellow flag. We'll take a look to see what. Also, I believe the 85 machine may have had it. All right, so that was very old, folks. So we'll take a look at the contact between the 38 and the 97. 97 just trying to get a nose down on in there and just made contact with that left rear. And anytime you do that here on the iRacing simulator, that will send the car in front of you right around. So that sent Braden Goddard around. And these guys were battling, I believe, for right around the 8th position, both a lap down. So, but battling for the all valuable points. As we see, Eli Lewis does come down pit road. He will get some fresh tires on that car and hope that will give him enough of an advantage compared to the cars around him. But he's got a lot of cars to pass if they decide not to come down pit road anymore. We are under yellow flag here tonight at Myrtle Beach Speedway for the 10th time. KCBT out there in front. Michael Lip is in the second position in that 26 machine. He has looked very sporty all night long, has led a handful of laps, and currently sits in the second place. Connor Gadsden, an up and down night for that 76 machine. It looks like he will restart in the third position. Fourth goes to Blaine Harrison, another driver very up and down. And rounding out the top five will be Tristan Newman when it's all said and done. With about 5 cars still trapped a lap down with those pit stops, so as this time by, we'll see the lights get extinguished on the iRacing pace car. The 45 machine will elect to restart on the inside lane, and we'll get the field doubled on up and get ready for another restart here for race number 9. As the iRacing pace car makes its way down pit road, we'll now wait for the 45 machine to lead us to green flag, and we'll see how the rest of the field can shake up as we go back to green flag racing action. Casey gets away with a great start. Gadsden as well will, as one car hard into the outside wall. That's the 85 machine of Curtis Heading, but they stay green flag racing here as the 45 machine continues to lead the way. Gadsden in second. Now Mike under fire from the 7. Down low is a little bit of contact down the front stretch. As, oh man, big time contact for some drivers. One across the track. That's the 02 machine with Jacob York also involved. And that brings out our 11th yellow of the night. As we look at the contact here, Jacob York trying to get around the 02 machine on the top side. Maybe thought about crossing on over, as the 02 gets a little bit sideways, tries to chase that car down low. 97 of Jacob York had his nose down in there. Big time contact for both those guys into that inside wall, and that sends the 02 machine across traffic. Luckily, no one else did get a piece of him. That could have been very bad. As we'll see Jacob York bring that thing down pit side to get some repairs done. But it does seem like restarting on the top side, folks, very challenging. So we'll have to see how Gadsden can do, as Braden Goddard this time was the lucky dog. So he'll try and get back on the lead lap here. So I believe that leaves just 4 cars, excuse me, I think 5 cars still a lap down. So not only are we watching battles up front here, folks, but we also got to keep an eye on the battle for that lucky dog, with drivers trying to get back on this lead lap. As we will have 2 laps to green flag here. KCBT has now led, I want to say, since those those pit stops when he got those fresh tires. So we'll have to see if anyone can challenge that 45 machine, who has been very fast here at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. Currently the biggest mover of the race, up 11 positions from where he started. So that 45 machine looking very sporty here. And he's hoping to close the deal with about 35 laps to go. As the lights will get extinguished on the iRacing pace car, we'll double file them on up and get ready to go back to green flag racing action. As the 45 will once again lead us to green flag here. We'll see what the 7 has to offer. Same with the 76. maybe even the 26. We've seen some crazy stuff happen here, but we wait for the 45 machine to jump on the loud pedal. He does that. We go back to green flag racing action. Blaine Harrison with a great restart. He looks to the inside of our race leader. Not quite there, but he will have the advantage over Gadsden for second place. So Blaine Harrison able to slot into second, and now Gadsden will slot into third. A little bit further back, battle side by side for the fourth position between Tristan Newman and Michael Lipp. Michael Lipp in that 26 machine, able to get back down on the bottom side, now in the fifth position. Now that allows Jace Reef in that 54. First time we've seen him out on track this season, having a pretty solid event. But yellow flag here for the 12th time here tonight, and I believe that involved the 97 machine of Jacob York. So we'll take a look at the replay here, and big time sideways for the driver of the 97 machine off of turn number 4. He brings that thing down the grass, and I believe that was enough to bring out the yellow flag here. So Jacob York struggling here in the later stages. That's not going to help his playoff run, as he's now 4 spots or so behind Braden Goddard. As a little bit of strategy there, a little bit of pit stop fake out for these drivers. As we get everyone sorted on out here and ready to go back to green flag racing action. It looks like the 2 machine of Ethan Johnson will get the lucky dog this time. As these guys raring to get back to green flag racing action here with 30 laps left in the books for race number 9. As the lights are extinguished on the iRacing pace car, we get ready to go back to green flag racing action next time by. Once again, Casey will restart on the inside lane. He's been getting some very good restarts. We'll see if he can continue that as everyone tries to sort themselves on out, and we get ready to go back to racing action here at Myrtle Beach. KCBT jumps on the loud pedal. We are back to green flag racing action. Blaine Harrison does get a good enough start, but 3 wide behind him as the 26 has to back on out of it. That opens up the door for Tristan Newman on the top side of Gadsden. Connor Gadsden down low for third. Tristan Newman trying to roll that top side in that white 50 machine. As these guys continue to go door to door right there. Michael trying to figure out what lane has the advantage to get on around. Tristan Newman big time sideways off of turn number 2. That will open up the door for the 26 machine. Tristan Newman now has to take care of that right rear just a little bit more than his fellow competitors around him. Make sure he can get traction in that right rear, but looks like he's able to get back down on the bottom side. A little bit further back, Eli Lewis trying to get around the 54 machine for 6th on the speedway. Gadsden now under fire from the 26 machine as he tries to reel him back in, as throughout this field looks like single file racing action, as Jacob York is currently our lucky dog candidate if we do get another yellow flag, but this time by 100 laps down, 25 to go. As Eli Lewis does get to the inside of the 54 machine, this is the battle for 6th on the speedway. Eli Lewis does get around him. Tristan Newman big time sideways in front of him. This could open up the door to the top side if Eli Lewis can get on that loud pedal a little bit better than the 50. He will, so Eli Lewis will get 2 for 1 on that lap, but Tristan Newman will dive it down to that inside, try and get a nose on in there. He does just that as they go side by side down the backstretch. Eli Lewis has the power and a little bit fresher tires than the cars around him. Last pitted on lap 86, where everyone else came down pit road on 68. So Eli Lewis trying to use those new tires to his advantage. As in front of him, Michael Leip tries to get around Gadsden. Mike all over the back bumper with a little bit of contact there. All over enough to give him a shot. That sends the 76 machine out of the groove. Big time sideways. Gets across up into that wall, and he'll lose not one but two spots. As Gadsden gets a piece of the curbs. He gets sideways. The field gets on around cleanly. A little bit of contact. Oh, man. Where did that car come from? Is more trouble for some drivers. I believe that was a 50 of Tristan Newman. That's in the wrong way on the speedway. So we'll take a look at the replay, see what happened to the 50 machine as Gadsden tries the crossover, gets the curbs, upsets the car, gets a big time sideways. Tristan Newman goes down low to avoid the 76, and oh man, with that contact, enough to spin that thing on around. And then we'll see some guys come in a little bit late, and oh man, some more big time contact for that 50 machine. As when it's all said and done, we'll have some more beat up super late models. But I think with that, unless Jacob York did get some contact with that, he should be the lucky dog this time. As no, he did get contact with that yellow, so it'll give the lucky dog to the 44 machine of Chuck Sims. Chuck will now find himself back in the top 10 with a clean looking Fury super late model machine. So, but KCBT continues to lead the way in this field with 20 laps to go. Blaine Harrison still hangs on to second. Michael Leip in the 26 and third. Fourth is Eli Lewis, and Jace Reef in the 54 finds his way back up in the top 5 here. As the lights get extinguished on the iRacing pace car, looks like the 45 machine of KCBT will elect to take that outside lane here under our 13th yellow, presented by Roundy's Lawn Care. As Blaine Harrison will get to restart on the inside lane. Michael Leip in third, Eli Lewis fourth, Jace Reef in fifth. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing action in the closing stages. 45 machine will lead us to green as he waits to jump on the loud pedal here. He jumps on the gas. We go back to green flag racing action. Blaine Harrison times that restart perfectly down low, so they'll go side by side for the race lead. We'll have to see if starting on the outside was a mistake for Casey, but able to put the power down a little bit better than the 7 off of 2 and able to clear him down the backstretch. Now Eli Lewis with those fresher tires makes his way up into third position. Now we'll put the pressure to the 7. There's a little bit of contact to that outside wall from Blaine and Eli, but they keep their momentum up there with 15 laps to go at the line. These guys all waiting for one car around them to make a mistake. Brandon Goddard looks like able to get around the 54 machine. That will put the 38 up into the top 5. But now Jace will have the run down low as Brandon Goddard not the best exit off of turn number 4. That opens up the door for the 97 and the 50 as well. Tristan Newman with a clean race car using that fast repair. As Braden Goddard falls back to 7th now. And Tristan Newman and Jacob York go side by side. Jacob York currently our lucky dog candidate if we do get a yellow flag that does not involve the 97 machine. But up front, KCBT able to check on out a little bit over second place, so he's got a healthy lead as now Eli Lewis looks to maybe a little bit, oh, definitely some contact there for second place, folks, between the 3 and the 7. 7 will try and get back to his back bumper, look to the outside, but the 3 of Eli Lewis with those fresher tires able to put down the power. We'll have to see if he can reel in our race leader. Now Blaine Harrison loses the spot of third place to Michael Leip in that 26 machine. But this time by for our race leader, we got 2 open palms from the flagman. 10 laps to go as these guys getting stuff sorted on out. Michael trying to reel in Eli Lewis for that second position. Also Blaine Harrison right there as well. Looks like 1 problems for the 44 machine of Chuck Sims. He gets that thing up to speed, so we stay green here in this race. As we look here at our 5th place driver, Jace Reef, under fire from Tristan Newman. We saw the 54 overdrive it, had to jam on the brakes, and that opened up the door for the 50 machine. Now the 54 will try and get him on back. A little bit of a tap at the apex, but Tristan Newman able to hang on to the 5th position here inside of 10 laps to go. As the battle for second heats on up, Eli Lewis under big time fire from Michael Leip in that 26 machine. Mike looking down low. They'll go side by side, and in turn number 1, Eli Lewis up top, the 26 machine of Michael Leip down low as they go door to door down the backstretch. Eli a little bit of contact to the outside wall. That will slow down his momentum just a little bit, give the advantage to the 26 as able to clear down the front stretch. So Mike able to get into second. Now Blaine Harrison will try and do the same as he's to the inside of the 3. Also Tristan Newman there, as well as contact between the 3 and the 7 once again. As Tristan Newman comes from nowhere, able to clear the 7 in 3 and 4, but now Blaine Harrison will do the crossover here with 5 laps to go. There's an intense battle from 3rd on back with these guys right on top of each other. You could throw a blanket over all 3 of these cars. As Blaine now pushes up big time, gets a piece of the wall off of turn number 4. That will hurt the 7 cars. The 54 gets tagged a little bit. Jace Reef able to hang onto that car. Once again find himself in the top 5 as Eli Lewis under fire here from Tristan Newman now. Eli trying to shut the door on Tristan Newman. This is a battle for the podium spot to be able to talk to me after the race, as Newman able to get on around with Eli in the wall, but at the start finish line, 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks up in the air for KCBT. The battle here continues to heat on up, but they keep it straight as Braden Goddard loses a spot to the 2 of Ethan Johnson. They'll continue to battle on out, but up front for the 45 machine, we see the white flag. 1 lap to go for race number 9 here at Myrtle Beach. We'll keep an eye here on our race leader. He's able to get away cleanly. Through 3 and 4 he goes. He can smell the win. KCBT will win race number 9 for these guys. And a little bit further back, we got an intense battle here. 54, the 3, and the 97. Jace Reif able to pick up 3rd. Eli Lewis in 4th. And KCBT will pick up the win. We'll put the spotlight on him as he drifts that thing through 3 and 4. Heck of a drift for the victory. Keeps it off the wall, and he'll burn it on down on the front stretch for the fans at home. Race number 9 in the books here. KCBT, Michael Leip, and Tristan Newman will all be talking to before the end of the night. So don't go anywhere, folks. We still got some interviews to do. Alrighty, folks, we are back here with our third place finisher. That would be Tristan Newman. Tristan, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I got you.
Alrighty, man. That was a crazy one. Once again, you bring home another quick time pole award for the 50 machine. How'd you do it in qualifying? That thing looked very fast like always, Tristan.
I don't know. I just gotta let the car do the work. The setup that iRacing has for us is pretty good all around. It's a little loose, but I just let the car do the work. Didn't overdrive it. Just tried to take care of it, and it was good enough for pole.
Yeah, Tristan, and going through this race, you come away with third. It seemed like you had a pretty up and down night. Man, how'd you do it at the end, especially with that green flag run? It seemed like it allowed a lot of people to kind of get their car underneath them, because it seemed like you had a little bit of trouble with getting the power down, especially off of turn number 2, excuse me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just not a good night. Honestly, felt like we had a good car coming out of qual, starting the race, but led those first couple laps, everything was going okay, and then we got into it with someone, I don't even remember who it was, and it all was just downhill from there. We had a very mediocre race, got in a couple wrecks. Connor down the straightaway, whatever. I'm not even going to get into that. But, yeah, was able to come away with a P3, but I feel like there were guys that deserved it more than me tonight.
Hey, Tristan, half the racing I love to say is about luck. You're able to use a little bit of that tonight, bring it home in the third position. But yeah, Tristan, seemed like a little bit of race of attrition. It seemed like from the drop of the hat, everyone racing very aggressively around each other. Was that the case here tonight? A lot of bumpers being hit and a lot of doors being rubbed.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. It's just, you'd think it was a 10-lap race, just from the drop of the green flag. A lot of things to be learned by a lot of people, including me. So, yeah, just a hard-fought race. I'm glad we were able to come away with P3, but like I said, I feel like there were guys that deserved it more than me tonight.
Yeah, Tristan. Well, this is race number 9 of 10, so we got one more. But before we close on off and give our closing remarks from you, is there anyone you want to thank and give a shout out to for this 50 crew with this third place finish here from Myrtle Beach?
Yeah, I just want to thank LIS Motorsports for bringing me on again. Eli's a great guy, great teammate. I was able to race him and get the third tonight, which was fun. That was really fun. Braden for putting on the league, all the admins, Curtis, Eli, Braden, York, everyone that raced me clean tonight. So pretty much everyone, but a couple. Yeah, other than that, that's about it.
Alrighty. Well, Tristan, always a pleasure talking to you. Once again, you had another good finish, a third place, and of course another pole for you. You have yourself a great rest of the night, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you here maybe at the end of the season again.
All right, thanks, Brett.
Alrighty, folks, that was our third place finisher. Now we'll try and dial up our second place finisher. That is Mike Leip in the 26 machine. Mike, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. How about yourself? You able to walk away with a third place finish when it's all said and done? That 26 machine seemed pretty sporty here at Myrtle Beach. You lead in a handful of laps there.
Did I finish third or second?
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, second.
Yeah. I was going to say, no, wait. I'm ecstatic, man, to be able to finish in the top three. It's awesome. Feel like I've been fast enough to get it done at least in the top three every week, but I don't have no luck, man. I hate I got into Connor there towards the end. I was just trying to work my way back through traffic. I felt like I was faster than Casey, or just as fast as Casey on the longer run. And I felt like I definitely could have run with him. He's a lot smoother than I am, so it'd have been a good race for sure, but I enjoyed it. I'm just glad to be able to finish podium.
Yeah, man, a podium here, especially with some good competition here tonight, says a lot from that 26 machine. And yeah, haven't really got a chance to talk to you about the season. How has the season been for you? Like you said, I think a lot of bad luck going your way throughout it, but tonight you maybe use a little bit of good luck and finish in the runner-up position.
Yeah, for sure. Me and Connor is pretty close for the rookie of the year. That's why I hate that I got into him. I wasn't intentionally trying to get into him, but each week I feel like I've been on pace to be in the top 4, top 3 every week, but just bad luck, pit at the wrong times, get mired in traffic, and then get caught up in something that's not a part of my doing or something each week. But tonight it was a pretty clean race for the most part.
Yeah, man, you put together a pretty good race. I know you probably wanted to finish one spot better, but runner-up, not too shabby here tonight. And for me in the booth with my notes, how do you say your last name?
It's Lipe, like wipe with an L.
Alrighty, Lipe. Alrighty, Mike. Well, yeah, congrats again on the runner-up finish. Throughout this race, it seemed like you had some speed, and that long run, it seemed like that 26 machine really came in. Was that the case?
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, I feel like I could have maybe edged out Casey there if I'd have just been able to stay close, and get a long run. But short runs, he definitely fired off. I'm horrible on restarts. I've tried everything I can do to get better on restarts, but I suck at restarts.
Yeah, a little bit of question about those restarts. You're the first one I've seen all season elect to take the high side. What was maybe the thinking behind that?
Well, these cars, you're putting so much power down to the rear, and I felt like here with the arcing corners like they are, the tight corners, I felt like having that straighter run down that straightaway was beneficial. I think Casey tried to do it a couple times too, and he may be able to, add to that. But I felt like it was a lot more comfortable on the rear tires starting on the high side than it was on the low.
Alrighty, well, good stuff from our runner-up finisher. Before we let you go, Mike, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank for this 26 team.
I just want to thank all you guys. For you guys broadcasting to the whole Outlaw Limited Series for putting this show on. I appreciate being able to be a part of it. I try to race each and every one of these guys with respect, so I really enjoy it.
Alrighty, Mike. Well, great talking to you. Hopefully we can talk to you at the season finale here in a few weeks, but you have yourself a great rest of the night and go celebrate this runner-up finish.
Thank you.
Alrighty, folks. And now we head down to the Premier Dental Arts Victory Lane and talk to the driver of the 45 machine, that being Casey Beatty, the man of the hour. Casey, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth.
Yes, sir. I got a copy.
Alrighty, man. How are you doing here tonight? That 45 machine looked very fast.
Yeah, no, the thing was on rails tonight. Fortunately, had some penalties after last week, so we had to start deep. But I know I was definitely on a mission and trying to make a point tonight. But
yeah, man, that thing looked very sporty, and yeah, like you said, you started deep, biggest mover of the race, up a whopping 11 positions when it's all said and done. So very impressive from that 45 machine.
Yeah, no, it did, like I said before, the car was on rails. I know I had a couple guys that were on the same strategy as me, and we were trying to work together, try to pick our way to the front. And I knew as soon as I got the lead that it was, in my mind, it was game over. It was time to run, and I think we did just that.
Yeah, that you did, Casey. I think with over a 3-second lead when it's all said and done, you did a heck of a job to set sail and not look back. But yeah, a little bit. We'll go a little bit further back in the race, Casey. Midway, you decide to come down, take some tires, and you win the race off of pit road. What was kind of the strategy call, and how was your crew so quick?
No, the boys practice all week, and we have a box at the shop, and I practice getting into it every week. And no, I know a lot of people were going to take 4 because in everybody's mentality, 4 is the better option. But I know our car was better on 2, and we bought a couple extra practice tires just to try throwing rights on and see what the car was going to do after a long run. And the car definitely seemed to handle a lot better with just rights. And I think that was the play. And I think that's why we beat Michael and a couple other guys out, was taking the right side tires and being able to get the extra speed off pit road.
Yeah, that did seem like the move of the race. Yeah, you set up Eli beautifully, got around him and set sail. And Casey, I got to ask, were you thinking that there was going to be a yellow? Usually when I'm out there in front, especially in the closing laps, I'm like, oh, there's definitely going to be a yellow coming. What was going through your mind those last 10 laps?
Oh, I was definitely waiting for yellow to come. I was like, come on, no yellow, no yellow, no yellow. If a yellow had came at that point, I was gonna be so upset. It was like I was away from the field so far, and even if I'm faster than them with that green white checker, they could still get into me, move me, or I can make a mistake, and it's a good final. It just didn't happen, and I was definitely happy about that.
Yeah, Casey, heck of a job. You add another win to your win column here for the limited iRacing Super Late Model Series. And Casey, I got to say, you're a pretty quick driver. If these guys can hang with you, it's pretty impressive, because I got to race you a little bit on Wednesday, and I'm like, man, that 45 machine, I see he has speed out here on track, but being in a car next to you, I'm like, man, you're pretty good there at Iowa.
Yes, sir. No, I definitely felt I had a fast car at Iowa, but I made a mistake when everybody came down for tires and ended up getting a speeding penalty and having to restart in the back. Definitely upset my night going from 4th off pit road to 32nd, but I think we were able to make a late call strategy and take tires with about like 22 to go, and was able to drive back to, I think it was 15th or so.
Yeah, when I saw you get that pit road penalty, I was bumming, because I was like, man, I was looking forward to racing that 45 machine a little bit. So,
yes, sir. Yeah, no, that was fun track. Hopefully this Wednesday goes better for me.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, Casey, before we let you go and wrap up down here in Premier Dental Arts Victory Lane, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you, because I'm sure you got a lot of people to thank for this 45 crew here tonight.
Once again, like every week, I got to thank Ryan Kuhn Motorsports and RKM Setup Shop. They definitely help us get this thing dialed in every week, and got to thank you for dealing with all the fucking shit shows every week. Sorry about my language. And just putting up with everybody, and thank Braden for putting on the league and giving us this opportunity.
Alrighty, Casey. Well, you have yourself a great rest of the night. Go celebrate down in the Premier Dental Arts Victory Lane. I'm sure we'll be talking to you before the season is over with one more race left on the schedule.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, folks. That was Casey Beatty down here in the Premier Dental Arts Victory Lane with another great interview. So, folks, that will do it for race number 9 here. We'll run through tonight's finishing results here at Myrtle Beach. Casey Beatty in the 45 machine picks up the win. Michael Leip in the second place in that 26 machine Finishing third, we also talked to him, is Tristan Newman in the 50. Jace Reef in the 54. Finishes in fourth, first time out this season. Pretty good finish. Eli Lewis in the 3 will round out the top 5. Braden Goddard in the 38 machine picks back up the season points with a 6th place finish. 7th goes to Ethan Johnson in the 2. 8th is Jacob York in the 97 machine. 9th is Tyler Holden in the 02. Rounding out the top 10 is Blaine Harris in the 7. 11th is Chuck Sims in the 44. 12th Connor Gadsden in the 76. 13th Dwayne Worley in the 5. 14th Curtis Heading in the 85. And rounding out the field tonight, did not make the call for the green, is Brendan Carroll in the 10. So folks, this is race number 9. We got one more scheduled sometime here in the future for the season finale. So be sure to tune in on that with Jacob York and Braden Goddard with a 3-point difference between the two. So you won't want to miss that. Of course, we got to give a huge shout out to all the sponsors and the admins that make this limited iRacing series go around. All the admins out there, big shout out to you guys, as well as Premier Dental Arts down there in Victory Lane. Also BG Designs, be sure to check them out at bgracingdesigns.com. Also Don's Custom Diecast, if you want some sweet looking diecasts that are custom made for you, be sure to check them out on Facebook. Also Jay's Stock Cars as well, if you're looking for that diecast to add to your collection, be sure to check them out as well. And of course, our caution sponsor, that being Roundy's Lawn Care. If you need your lawn to look pretty, be sure to check them out as well. So I've been Brett the Jet in the booth from Turn 3 Racing Network. Be sure to check out Turn 3 throughout the week, as we got a lot of series, a lot of great racing to be had. And we'll catch you guys all another time. Thanks again to all the live viewers, all the replay viewers. And everyone stay safe. Have a good week. And we'll catch you later. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth.